Apple is doing terrific. I mean, we do the IPO for Facebook, and they're valued now around $100 billion, which is amazing because they're worth more than Ford. They're worth more than so many of the top companies in the country. But they're not worth more than Apple. Apple's number one at about $500 billion valuation. $500 billion. I don't know if you know this, but that's actually $500 billion. So they're doing great, fantastic. They have good products, great marketing, God bless their hearts, no problems with that. I own an iPhone, I own an iPad, terrific products, okay? So, and their profits accordingly have soared. Last year, you know what their profit was? $34 billion. Fantastic, no problem, God bless capitalists. All right, here's where the issue begins. Now let's look at their tax rates. Now remember, corporate tax rate's supposed to be 35%. Makes sense, you make $34 billion, you pay about a third of it, doesn't hurt you at all. Those are all profits anyway, right? Then at the end, you'd have 20 some odd billion left. Okay, great. And then the country has that 10 billion to reinvest so that we can get the next Apple. Whether it's things like the government inventing the internet, which it did, right? So that gave Apple and all those other companies opportunity, whether it's building roads, whether it's teaching our kids so that they could be the next Steve Jobs. That's how it's supposed to work out. Except, of course, the giant corporations have bought our politicians. We don't have a democracy anymore. What we have is, you know, you can call it a corporatocracy, whatever term you want to put on it. But the bottom line is Apple, logically so, goes to the corrupt politicians, says, here's a nickel and a dime for my $34 billion. Now cut my tax rates. Give me loopholes. Let me play these tax tricks. So what's the bottom line result? Well, in 2009, they had paid a 24.8% tax rate, which is still much lower than 35. Then they figured out more loopholes. They were down to 14.7%. And then last year, they figured out plenty more loopholes, and they're down to 9.8%. Nothing wrong with paying $34 billion. There is something wrong with paying a 9.8% rate, which is much, much lower than the average guy. I keep saying this because it's amazing. You know, if you're a single individual and you make over $36,000, you pay about 25% for every extra dollar. So you're going to pay 2.5 times more than Apple does when they make $34 billion. There's something terribly wrong about that. Because when they don't pay taxes, what happens? The burden comes on to us. And we've shown you that graph in the past, from the 1950s to now. Corporate tax rates, as a percentage of the taxes that the government collected, was near 30%. Now it's in the single digits and dropping. And what happened? As a percentage of the taxes we pay, through payroll tax as an example, way up. Meaning we are shouldering a bigger burden of the taxes because the corporations have figured out how to buy corrupt politicians so they can get all their tax loopholes. And then they turn around and go, whoa, whoa, what? It's all legal. It's all legal. It's all totally fine. I know. That's why I want to change the system. That's why I want to overturn your Apple Cart. So we got to go get them, man. It ain't about Apple, by the way. As I've said a million times now, it's the system that's the problem, okay? I like their products. That's not the issue. The issue is we have a totally unfair system that has the politicians winning elections based on how much money they have. 93% of the time, the guy with more money wins his congressional elections. That's why they give loopholes to corporations, which then give them the donations.